in the village of Kalighat in Gujarat. Rai Sahib's Haveli was very famous. People said a treasure was hidden there. Ajit had also gone to that same village in search of the treasure. It was the night of the new moon. The wind was blowing very hard that night, but there was something strange about it, as if someone was weeping and calling someone to them. Right there, the Rai Sahib's Haveli, built on the old barren hill, looked haunted even from a distance. They say no one has been able to stay there since Rai Sahib's death. That night, there were only 3 people there: the new watchman Ajit and his 2 friends Rohan and Deependra. Before going there, all 3 had said that there is no such thing as fear. But as soon as they entered, everyone was speechless. Upon entering the Haveli, the silence was so much that even the sound of their own footsteps started to scare them. The broken door was moving on its own, as if someone was inviting them inside. And outside, the tree branches were also shaking, as if someone was sitting on them and shaking them. The new watchman of the desolate Haveli, Ajit, lit a candle with trembling hands. The candle's yellow-orange light spread into the Haveli's corridors, but couldn't even touch the dark shadows sitting in the corners. "The key to the 7th room, where the treasure is," Ajit whispered. There was fear in his voice. "The room that no one has opened for the last 50 years. Rohan tried to force a laugh. "Not treasure, Rohan," Deependra interrupted. There was a slight fear in his voice. "Rai Sahib's only daughter, Mandira. She was buried in that very room. People say her spirit still resides there." Deependra dismissed the matter, laughing, and said that Rai Sahib's treasure was hidden there. Ajit took out an old rusted key, which was coated in the red mud lying on the ground. "I found this key on the stairs this morning. I felt as if someone was calling me here." The 3 gathered courage and started climbing the main stairs. The stairs were wooden and made scary sounds with every step. The corridor above was densely dark. Every corner had cobwebs which shone when the candlelight fell on them, as if 1,000 eyes were staring at them. At the end of the corridor was the 7th room. Its door was different from the other rooms, deep red. On the door, in large red letters, was written, "Do not open in." Ajit's throat went dry. "Maybe we should go back." "No," Rohan insisted. He took the key from Ajit and, with hands trembling with fear, put it in the door's lock. The lock opened with a slow, long, and pained scream. As the door opened, a strange smell of rotten, damp earth came. The room was completely empty. In the middle, there was an old, dust-covered swing which was slowly rocking in the gentle breeze. The room's walls had no windows, but on one part of the wall, there was a patch of black fungus, which looked like a small girl. "This is just an old empty room." Rohan breathed a sigh of relief. "How foolish these villagers are." Just then, Deependra pointed to an old box lying in the corner. "What is that?" Ajit stepped towards the box, trembling. Upon opening the box, a piece of paper and a small wooden doll were found. The doll had no eyes. Ajit opened the paper. It was a torn page from Rai Sahib's diary. On it, written in ink of blood, was, "Mandira was playing." I thought she was hiding behind the door, but when I opened the room, she was clinging to the wall. Her eyes were missing. She was staring at me from that empty space. She was not my Mandira anymore. That thing cannot come out of this room now. I must lock it. I have written on the door with blood. Now it will remain closed forever. Forgive me, daughter. As soon as Ajit read that page, all 3 felt as if the air in the room had suddenly stopped. The candle flame dimmed. That empty space. That wall. What is this nonsense? Rohan looked at that empty wall, where now there was just a patch of fungus. Ajit tried to touch the place where Rai Sahib had written that Mandira was clinging. As soon as his finger touched the wall, The mud and fungus there began to crumble with a terrifying slow sound. Slowly, a small black hole started appearing in the wall, and a small girl's face started appearing in it. "Run!" Deependra screamed. But before they could run, a gust of ice-cold wind came from the hole. The room's silence turned into a scream. From that empty space, slowly, two small black sunken eyes emerged. Those eyes had no pupils, just deep darkness. Then a slow child's whisper was heard, which echoed directly in their ears. "You came here to take the treasure, but now you too will stay here." Rohan fell to the ground in fear. Deependra ran towards the door, but the door shut itself with a loud sound. Suddenly, Ajit's gaze fell on the doll in the box, which had no eyes. He suddenly understood. Mandira's spirit was in that doll, but perhaps her eyes had been taken by that terrifying thing, which was now coming out of the wall. The shadow coming out of the wall began to grow longer. It was the shadow of a child, but its hands were getting longer. "Rohan! Deependra! It is in the middle of the room!" Ajit shouted. Rohan had closed his eyes in fear. Just then, he felt the touch of wet hair near his feet. He opened his eyes, screaming. Mandira's doll was trembling, and next to it, kneeling, was Mandira's spirit. Her face was shriveled, and where her eyes should have been, there were two black pits filled with blood. "I want my eyes back," Mandira's spirit said in a whispering voice. Deependra made one last attempt to break the door, but that wooden door had become as strong as iron. He looked back. Mandira's spirit, holding that doll, was standing near Rohan's neck. "Ajit!" Deependra screamed. Ajit gathered courage. "Your wait is over, Mandira. Now we will set you free." He quickly took the matchbox from the box and burned that torn piece of paper on which Rai Sahib had written his story. As the paper burned, a strong flame rose in the room, and Mandira's spirit, with a painful scream, started to flee into that black space in the wall. But by then, it was too late. When the fire died down, only Ajit and Deependra were standing there. Rohan was lying on the ground. His eyes had become like white stones, and deep marks of small fingers were printed on his neck. The black space in the wall was now once again filled with fungus. Deependra said, crying, "Rohan, she took his eyes." Ajit nodded his head in fear and despair. He saw on the wooden doll lying on the ground, in place of the eyes, there were now two bright white stones. Were those Rohan's eyes? Both of them ran outside and closed the door. Now, along with Mandira's spirit, Rohan's spirit was also there. People say that even today, that seventh door is waiting for its next victim. Will you go there? How did you like this story? Would you like to know more secrets of the Haveli?